Hello, this is Beth Berry from Real Green Systems. I'm the Vice President of Business Development. We are talking to industry icons. Yep, that's you, Kendall, about
Icons, I love it.
what we can do to assist the green industry right now during this COVID crisis. It's an unprecedented time where we're all finding new and innovative ways to go about our business. Kendall, we've known each other for about a year now. I know you've been a customer of Real Greens in the past. Give us your background.
Yeah.
Tell us what you've done before you started Lawnbot.
Yeah, so a little bit about me. I grew up in the family business. We owned a lawn doctor franchise. And when I came into my parents' business, we had about 90 customers. And the only thing that was missing was sales. And so I said, okay, I really didn't have anything going for me at the time. I dropped out of school and I just committed myself to this industry. And, I learned marketing and sales, how to sell lawn care. Ended up growing my family's business from 90 accounts to we closed at 2,000 accounts last year. That was about 5 seasons of growth. So it was a lot of knocking on doors, bootstrapping, telemarketing, like anything you could think of to grow the business, we did. I mean, even down to like stopping landscapers in the street and, hey, who's doing your fertilizing? I'd love to do it for you. And that's how we would pick up accounts really quick as well. But yeah, I've been on the lawn since I was 8 years old, and I just have always leaned more towards the technology and sales and marketing side of the business. So
I feel like I'm talking to a young Joe Cusick. All he wanted was software to run his fertilization business that he and his father had started, who was a Detroit City policeman. He just wanted to scratch his own itch. He never thought he would own a big technology company. So same, right?
30 years later, Real Green's the industry leader in the space, and all of the most successful companies use Real Green systems. So, it's a long time especially in the technology world, the 30 years is a long time.
One of the things Joe Cusick has done very successfully is find new products that help our customers grow their business. As you know, we have many modules, but when you pitched to us what you were doing with Lawnbot, it's not that Real Green couldn't have developed it, but you had such a ready-made solution that because you were a chemical lawn care provider, it was ready to roll with the industry. So we're excited to be partnered with you. We now have the integration rolling. So if you are a service assistant customer, it's the technology is integrated. So tell us about Lawnbot and exactly how it integrates with Service Assistant, and then we'll talk about why it's so important during this COVID crisis to have enough tool in the shed.
Well, first I'll start with what Lawnbot is. Right now, lawn care owners, pest control owners, they have folks going to their website and requesting quotes online. Typically, the end client sees like a generic thank you message. Somebody's going to contact you in the next 24 hours. But when we have a Lawnbot in place, we go install this Lawnbot, and when they click submit on your estimate request, they're actually landing on your beautifully branded, custom branded Lawnbot. They see a picture of their house, they answer a few questions, and based on the questions they answer, the bot is going to calculate a program that's best for them, based on the companies that hire us, their price tables, their programs, how many applications they do, what market they're in. So every bot is very custom to match the individual business that hires us. But we're there to close sales, right? We want to turn that lead into a closed sale within 4 minutes in a chat conversation. And it's pretty amazing. Like just today, we've made 15 sales. It's really amazing. And that's with the coronavirus outbreak going on. So like, just imagine if that wasn't going on and we were still in the boom time economy. But so from there, here's where it gets really exciting. And this is why I was so jacked up to get in front of the Real Green team that one day. Once that sale is made, like something has to be done with it. Like you have to enter it into the system or, do that manual process. But what we've developed with Real Green now, it's really a perfect partnership from lead acquisition to when we sell that lead, right? We sell that lead on the bot. And then from there, we have a customer. Now we shoot that customer into Service Assistant. And eventually, we're working on integrating the payment portion as well right now in phase 2. But eventually we'll post the payment to the account as well. So there's a lot of synergies that happen between, you think about if you have a 30-year of a marketing universe, we're able to tap into that data and use any of the data you have, but then also rectify it within the CRM as well. So you think of all of that admin time of maybe entering the name, address, phone number, email into your CRM. That goes away with a Lawnbot in place. And furthermore, we're able to actually close the sale. And even if they don't buy, we can put them in an estimate status with what they had requested during the chat, with the pricing, and then give whoever a call log notification saying, hey, Jim, you need to call this person. He just got a quote on Lawnbot and didn't buy. He's already in your CRM. Just give him a call and do it the old-fashioned way if you didn't convert on the bot. But we're seeing about 10 to 20% of people convert on the bot right now. So it's pretty exciting to see,
And so
the success so far.
Your operator, you are using my price table, correct?
Correct. Yep.
And so here's the square footage of the property with my price table. Correct.
So yeah, we take all of your parameters from SA, and we're able to use your price tables. You don't have to sell everything, like obviously it's a little hard to sell like mulch installs and stuff, but anything that's attached to a unit we can sell through the Lawnbot, which is pretty cool. I got people selling mowing. They sell 32 mowings. Lawn Jocks down in Memphis, Tennessee, they sell mowing through their Lawnbot, and lots of companies selling multiple types of service. So.
And what I love about it is it's 24/7, right?
24/7, yeah, 24/7, 365. It's pretty crazy. So like the first sale this morning rolled in at 8:56 a.m. I don't know if you can see that, but
wow.
it was that early in the morning. I woke up and there was like 4 sales sitting in the inbox from Lawnbot customers, and they're probably, hopefully they were sleeping, or hopefully they're getting on the lawns right now. Hopefully they're in one of the states that are still open. But once you realize the power of this and the potential, especially how much overhead costs these days, CSRs, salespeople, sales commission, the margins are only getting tighter in our business. And if I can pay somebody $300, $400 a year, that's the cheapest salesperson I'm ever going to be able to hire in my life.
Yeah. And I contend in this industry, you always need salespeople, but there's a lot of consumers where you're just taking the order. They know essentially they want that company. Let's say it's Spirit Green or whatever company it is. They want an idea on price. And by the way, a lot of them are consumers like me that are shopping at 11 o'clock at night. I'm very busy from 7 in the morning to 6. I don't have time to call someone. I don't have time to go online. But last night at 11 p.m. I signed up for HelloFresh, and I could do that because they had a bot online. And so you mentioned COVID-19, and we obviously started our conversations and partnership way before that because we thought you'd be an excellent addition to the Real Green family. But it's certainly the sense of urgency has increased. We're going to have Jeff Collignon later in the week on this conversation talking about how sales strategies have shifted, whether you were heavy door to door and you may have had to change that, or there's some areas where you're still very successful with telemarketing or direct mail drops and that messaging, just how the entire strategy changes. But resources, or the way we've used those resources in the past, is certainly changing. Tell me why Lawnbot's going to rise to meet that need.
Yeah, so we're a piece to the puzzle. Folks are worried about this, like replacing their sales force and, completely changing the way they do business. I think it's a good method and idea probably to take a piece of every tactic that works, right? Direct mail still works. Facebook ads, in my opinion, are the best place for your dollars to spend money on ads right now. Lawnbot, right? You want to have Lawnbot to service people 24/7. You also want to have trained salespeople to be able to take somebody that says, I need to think about it, who isn't a rollover sale, and turn them into a customer, because those people are really where like the growth lies, turning people who are maybes or no's into yeses. So I think Lawnbot helps you optimize your sales process. It's getting rid of the people who are your sales reps. They're wasting time talking to people who are already sold. Like they've already read the Google reviews. They've already said, yes, I'm going to hire somebody this year. It's going to be company A or company B. Well, they gave me an offer. It's $450. Like I get to cross it off my list and spend more time with my kids. I mean, I'm going to throw it on the Amex and let's just get it done. Like it's lawn care. It's not, finding a daycare for your child or something. I mean, it's something that should be easy. And right now, a lot of companies make it hard. And it's not their fault. It's just, we've been kind of slow to adopt technology in the sales space in this industry. And it's been really exciting to see a lot of the early adopter customers across the country. You'd think the old school guys who, they are telling me stories on the phone of them measuring every lawn with a wheel. And these guys are some of our first customers on Lawnbot. So that tells me it's pretty exciting that it's a much needed product within the space. And the clients are telling me because of all the sales that are being made on it, that this needs to exist. And I think more and more companies, once they see it and see the power of it, are going to understand how it can make their business grow and optimize things, in their sales process.
I can remember a couple Fridays ago, one of our customers went live, and like within an hour, they had a $600 sale. And he said, like picking up that phone and seeing those automated sales on a Friday evening where you may have turned off phones or you certainly sent people home and someone was in the mood to buy. That was very exciting.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm checking my email like every 5 seconds because I want to see how clients are doing. And it makes me happy and excited when we can see clients win. Even companies who aren't as strong on the follow-up and the sales front, when we can come in and install a Lawnbot to ask some of those hard questions, because we don't just stop like when the client says, I need to think about it. We've programmed in an actual phone salesman into the bot. So we say, well, okay, Mrs. Jones, what do you need to think about? The price, the product, the people, like what's your objection? Based on your objection, we give a rebuttal, throw a little tie down in there and ask for the sale again. And you'd be surprised at how many people go through that objection process and end up converting and becoming a customer. Because we kind of record every interaction on the back end so we can make the UI UX better. But it's really cool to see. Maybe that was a sale we would have missed on the bot if we didn't ask them what their objection was. Maybe it was product, and now we can educate them on, all of our organic fertilizers in the way we're different than the big, national companies or whatever makes you different. We try to communicate value through the bot and not just hold a price in front of them and say it's $50 an app, yes or no. We really try to build pictures and really make it feel like your company, especially in the South. I mean, Georgia sells their lawn care completely different than up here in the North. And we've built that into Lawnbot to be able to account for the different grass types between the front and the backyard and the way people sell differently in the South, which I'm a Northern boy. I didn't know much about it until we started this.
You got to go down sometime to Atlanta, Georgia and walk a lawn and see all the different turf types. I'll never forget, I was with Andy Hines, a colleague of mine at Scott's one time, and we walked on a property that he thought was fantastic. And you have so many different turf types. It's as though in a northern lawn where you would see crabgrass, you're like, well, what is this? This shouldn't be here. Oh, no. There's 4 different types of turf in here. And we have to modify the materials we apply so you don't kill that one in the middle.
Yeah, it's, some companies have different price tables per turf type. And it's like, how do you guys keep all that straight between the different turf types and price tables and everything? So it's super interesting.
It is. So one question for you, and you started to talk about it, was stick measuring. I'm sure that I worked with those stick measurers because I worked in the old chem lawn starting in 1983, and we stick measured every lawn, and it was, quote, so precise. And we would identify, maybe it's a lawn like track homes where they bring in basically gravel and try to stick sod on top of it. And so when a technician would go out on a new sale, they would say, well, this lawn isn't going to thrive because of this. Or those people who really don't know, a consumer who's bought a new property and there's not much turf there, they have a lot of dirt, and it's going to take more than your treatments to be able to take care of that. What do you say to those who are concerned about the quality assurance?
Yeah, so I think that's a sales process thing that companies need to pivot on. Obviously, with the rising costs of doing business, I would used to. We never went out to a lawn for a lawn doctor unless we knew it was going to be over $1,000 sale. Reason being is we looked at all the costs and we realized that, number one, we've been doing this for almost 20 years. Like, I know the soil types in every part of my market. And I think as long as you communicate that with confidence to the customer, you're always going to have those folks that like want you to come see the lawn. Then maybe they're not the right company for or customer for us. But what we always said is, okay, Mrs. Jones, listen, we've been doing this a long time, 20 years, in fact. We know that all lawns, they need fertilizer and weed control to be healthy, right? It's just a scientific fact. If you don't put down pre-emergent, you're going to get crabgrass. If you don't, if you have weeds, there's no way those weeds are going to go unless we spray them with weed control. We can, do whatever we want, but it's not going to work until we come and spray the weeds. So let's do this. Let's get you on our 6-step plan. It includes all the fertilizer and weed control you need for the year. You're going to need it regardless whether we need to do a seeding out there, a soil enrichment, whatever it is. On your first treatment, I'll have my technician, John. Okay, John's been doing this 20 years as well. He'll come and look at your lawn on the first treatment and let you know if you need anything in addition to the, basic fertilizer and weed control, which, by the way, all lawns need it. Sound fair?
That is fair.
Just let's,
So,
and
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just, and then let's, we try to push them as hard as we can. And sometimes, folks just end up saying, well, I want somebody to come look at the lawn. And typically those are the hardest customers to please anyway. So maybe it's good that we didn't do business with them.
Very good point. When I worked at Scott's Miracle-Gro, we would have a corporate sales day and everybody would go out and sell. And we had a contest among the executives and I won. And the reason I won, unbeknownst to me, is my measuring wheel was broken. So I ended up pricing thing by about 50%. So, those sticks are not without error themselves. But I think, the consumer adoption is going to be easy because we're used to buying everything that way. I set up a meal plan on HelloFresh. I've hired a plumber this week to come out because I had a problem and they had a chat bot. It is becoming increasingly accepted and expected that, I get to do business with you. And what it says to me as a business owner, if you've invested in this level of technology, probably the rest of your service delivery quality is going to be there as well.
I would have to agree with you. Every one of the companies that have signed up so far for Lawnbot, which we're up to 70 companies so far across the country, almost 30 states. These are some of the most dedicated businesses, and they care about the customer experience, which is why they are, early adopters to this technology. They want to be the top speed to the lead. As soon as that lead comes in, if they've went to TruGreen and Lawn Doctor, and TruGreen's got a call center in Dallas, Texas. I love TruGreen. They're great for the industry. They know how to sell. They know how to market. Okay. And if that lead comes in, somebody's going to call I mystery shopped them yesterday just to see. And they called me in literally 10 seconds, the local office actually, which is really surprising. They really got their phone game down. But speed to the lead is crucial. And in my mind, there's no quicker speed to the lead when the second that they're interested in your service, they have a chance to exchange with you and become a customer. There's no quicker speed to the lead. And then if they don't convert from there, of course, you're going to call them on the phone. Ideally, if they don't convert on the bot in the first 2 minutes, you're hitting them on the phone with a phone call saying, hey, Jim, what's holding you back? Why aren't you pulling the trigger? I see you have a thin lawn. You've been using TruGreen. You're looking for better customers, because they answer all that during the chat. So you get all that good feedback to enter that phone call with. Kind of some of what their objections are before you call them on the phone. But speed of the lead is crucial, and there's no quicker speed to the lead than the moment somebody's interested in service, they have a chance to buy and pay and become a customer.
So I'm going to turn the screen over to you so you could give us a real quick demo here in a minute. But I do think you're right. And during this time of COVID, because some areas, you mentioned some states are shut down because they're not deeming lawn and landscape essential critical infrastructure. I know you're in Michigan where it's kind of gone back and forth, and we expect that to change again tomorrow. But because of that, time is of the essence. So if you are a lawn care professional during COVID and you have an interested consumer, you really need to get out there right away and get that done, because we don't want to miss the pre-emergent crabgrass cycle, as you know, or we're going to be in real trouble for that. So talk to me like my daughter's been making me watch The Office. I've never seen that before, but this Michael Scott said, talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old last night. And so talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old. When a lawn care operator signs up for Lawnbot, it's on their website and it looks just like it's part of their own website, right?
Yeah, we did a lot of testing. I know a lot of people are familiar with like the chat bubbles at the bottom right. We
Sure.
tested it both ways, and in lawn care, we found that the lawn care buyer right now is used to buying lawn care, and how the way they do it right now is they go read Google reviews and they go look for a contact form on the website to tap all their information into, click submit. The only thing that changes is they get surprised when they land on this beautiful Lawnbot instead of a boring, thank you page. So it just taps into that inbound lead flow, and it's really seamless into your website.
Okay, I'm going
The
to
reason
change presenter, so you will now everyone will be able to see your screen. So show us what you got.
All right, let's see here. So show my screen, take you through this a little bit here. So right now, here's an example contact form, or in fact, I'll take you to an actual customer here. This is Lawn Plus in Alexandria, Ohio. They're actually one of the first people that are integrated into Lawnbot. And what's different about them is, let me see if I make this full screen.
By the way, those guys are great guys. The last trip I went on, I ran into Bob at the Orlando airport. It was really fun. I love them.
Yeah, they're great. They have a great reputation in a lot of Google reviews, and I think that's why they're crushing it on Lawnbot right now. I mean, they're making probably 2 or 3 sales a day through the bot, and it's pretty cool. So the client would enter their information just like normal. So they type in their information. I'll say Kendall. We'll do a phone number here. I'm not going to submit it because my phone will blow up, but we'll enter an address here. Select the address. Obviously they added some check boxes. Every company's a little different, but they have a pretty nice web company. They had the web company install Lawnbot in the back end, so it meshes really well with their site.
Yeah.
They would click Get My Instant Quote.
So real quick, let me interrupt you. The Lawnbot in this particular scenario can quote on all of those different services?
So they're not having, and that's a great question. So they've actually programmed it to, based on what they enter. I'll take you back here. All these different, go back. So based on these check boxes, different things can happen. So obviously, if only athletic fields are checked, Lawnbot can't, quote athletic fields yet, and I don't think you'd want it to, right? And rodent control or something like that. And they filtered it basically based on what they click on. So if there's conditional statements, if lawn care, seeding, aeration, any of those types of services are checked, the client will land on the bot. So I'll show it to you from the client's perspective. I just took a record from one of their air tables here. So boom, I entered my information on their website, and I land here right on their bot. Welcome back, Kendall. There's a picture of the house. There is the street view. You live at this address, correct? Say yes. Hits them with a quick value add. Nice picture of their team. So, we're really trying to communicate value here, making sure not to include the house and driveway. We measured your lawn to be 10,800 square feet. What are you interested in today? So they're selling all of these services through their bot. Each bot has a service type. So you can have as many service types as you like, and you can have as many programs attached to that service type. So you think about lawn, you might have 3 different lawn packages that would fall under fertilizer and weed control here. So we'll
Question
say
for
next.
you. One question.
Yeah.
So I know from my 30 years in the industry, most homeowners don't know their square foot, but so in this particular case, it served up 10,840 square feet. What if I only wanted to do front and sides? Is that an option here, or would they have to connect with a live agent?
So front and sides, we can handle it a few different ways depending on the market. We can obviously apply a certain percentage to it to account for that. Maybe we divide it by 50% for front and sides.
Okay.
So it just depends on the client in the market. So it just depends.
Okay.
Down in Georgia, yeah, you know, because what we do is you can actually have a cutoff, right? So if it's, let's say I didn't want to quote anybody through the bot that has a lot size bigger than 20,000 square feet, we can apply that cutoff. From there, we're going to minus 40%. Long story short, it's an algorithm based, and the algorithm is different depending on the market you're in. So in Michigan, the algorithm is different than in Georgia. Georgia is different than Colorado. Just every market's different.
Yeah.
And that's what we program in specifically when we go and build these bots, because we're trying to get within 1,000 to 2,000 square feet.
And you and I have done lawn care long enough that when you're within that range, your profitability is not diminished by that, by an error margin of that, and you're not going to lose a sale likely over the pricing differential on that.
Correct. And hey, let's say, hey, let's increase your price table by 10%. Maybe you want it to be a little bit higher, so when you call them on the phone, you know, hey, Mrs. Jones, listen, I got this great discount for you, or whatever it is. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
whatever you can use to get them to pull the trigger and become a customer and get on their lawn and show them what you can do. But usually the people buying on the bot, people ask about, oh, can I add discounts? Certainly you can. We can do 50% off the first app. We can do, you know, whatever for the first app. But the people buying on the bot, the best bots don't do discounts, which is really, really surprising to me. People, they want to see a clear and concise estimate. And they just want to get it done, cross it off the list. And
Yeah.
It's a really specific buyer, but I think this type of buyer is becoming more and more prevalent, especially with Uber Eats and Grubhub and things like that. So
Absolutely.
now we've reached the point in the conversation where it says, would you like to see an instant quote, or would you like to customize your program? So we're serving both types of buyers here. The ones that just want to go, hey, is it 700 or like how much is it? And it would recommend them a default program. Or we could go down the customize my quote path. This path, we're asking them probing questions just like we would over the phone. So we basically took a sales script and put it into the bot. You know, who's been doing the lawn out there, Mrs. Jones? Have you been doing it yourself or hiring another company? Well, I hire another company. That's awesome. Glad to hear you're taking pride in the lawn. What are you looking for in a company that, you know, they're not providing now? Better quality, better pricing. What is it? What's your thing you're looking for? You have no idea how much we hear that. Believe me, I know exactly how frustrating it can be. What's the current happiness with the lawn? One of the coolest things about these questions is they can drive price up or down. So what's the current thickness in the lawn? Thick, patchy, thin. They can also recommend a different program. So maybe if it's a patchy lawn, maybe you do seeding in your market and you want to recommend aeration and overseed plus your fertilizer and weed control program in the checkout. So you see there, I just entered all my information. We're going to crunch some data. Right now it's doing all the algorithms and stuff in the background, and the checkout's going to pop up here. So we want to keep it really simple and really easy, especially for the old folks out there. You know,
Sure.
big buttons, big text. Hey, it's $71 an app, 4 applications a year. Okay, I get that. Scroll down. You can see they added service tax in here. They can get started today for $76 for the pay as you go, or they can click prepay here, and it's showing them the prepay price. From here, they can enter their credit card number and become a customer and click pay. And then it would ask them service-related questions. So it would ask them, hey, do you have a locked gate? Do you have pets and kids? Do you have an underground dog fence or underground utility? Those, as we know as lawn care operators, those are all very important questions to ask, especially if we're doing aeration on the property and things like that. If we scroll down here, we have the ability to add upsells. So these are the upsells for Lawn Plus. So they're the upselling grub control, their premium plus lawn program, or their premium lawn program. So I'm a big fan of lots of inventory. You know, I don't want to ask them yes or no. I'm going to ask them which one. Like, which one do you want? Yes or no?
You always good, better, best, Kendall.
Yeah, totally. So big believer in that. I mean, I know you are as well. So what's cool about this is the client can add it to their program in real time and edit their program in a, I think, pretty, intuitive, beautiful way that a lot of consumers are used to now. This is where it gets fun is I mentioned before that they can say, I need to think about it. Well, what if they're not ready to buy? Okay, let's click, I need to think about it. And we ask for their objection. So no problem. I understand there's a lot to consider in picking a lawn care company, Mrs. Jones. What do you still need to think about? The price, the product, the people. What's your objection here? And based on their objection, we can offer a rebuttal. And then this is the tie down and the close that I had mentioned before. So we're trying to communicate, hey, Lawn Plus uses the newest technology to decrease the use of pesticides, improving the overall look of health of your lawn. We strongly, believe it's our job to educate customers. You could see how that'd be the best. We're the best company for your lawn this year, right? And they can say, yes, let's do it, or I still need to think about it. We'll take this path. I still need to think about it. If we would have said, yes, let's do it, it would have dumped them back into the checkout to sign up. And do you have any additional comments for our team? Enter the notes in here. And this would be emailed to the company. And if they have SA5 or SA4 hosted, I believe, then it would be shot into their Real Green system for follow-up. So I'll take in here.
Notification, is it a call log?
Yeah, it's a call log. It's also an email as well. So different companies handle it differently. Some people have a group call log status that they use together. You'll see here's an example one that Lawn Plus had sold earlier, looks like actually today. So you'd see it was sold by Lawnbot. So if we open the program here, Lawnbot is actually an employee in your company, salesperson Lawnbot. So Lawnbot,
that's so funny because I've got a customer. We have a mutual customer that told me when he runs his commission report every week and he runs his sales by salesperson, he said it's the ROI on Lawnbot. It just screams at me when I look at the number of sales I made and I didn't pay a salesperson to make them. And he still needs his salespeople, and they're certainly there to overcome the objections. But the low-hanging fruit sales are being made automatically, and they're getting them treated right away.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing. So yeah, you mentioned the call log here. So it populates in the call log, and I love it. SA5 is screaming fast. It's great. So you see here in the call log, Lawnbot, we got a little picture in there looking good. Shows exactly what they bought. $52 an app. So that way, if some companies want to do different pricing through the bot than what's in their price table in Real Green. So of course that's important to populate in the call log here. But yeah, everything's saved in the system here. I'll just type in Lawnbot here. So these are all people that had been entered by Lawnbot today. All these estimates, right? Think about how much time that would be for you to enter all the name, address, phone number, email, lot size, all of that. So this has all been done today. So it's pretty exciting. We're still we're at the end of phase 1 of the integration, and I believe we're starting phase 2 here very soon, and that's the payment portion. But eventually we're going to be able to incorporate RGPP right into the bot and ultimately have it, sync within Real Green systems. So
what about installments? When will you be able to provide a bot sale with the Real Green installment /budget bay?
Yeah, great question. So in our builder on the back end to build these bots, you have the option. We recommend offering 2 payment options, or they can just do one, of course. But you can either go per application, or we can take the whole total of the services they bought and divide it by how many months your installment program is. So we've already built in that capability on our end. Yep, it's already there. I think once we get the payment portion solidified, it should be very, very simple to just set up installments within Real Green. And I got to give it to the Real Green team.
Important things. I'm sorry, finish. You got to give it to Real.
I was going to give a huge shout out. I got to give it to the Real Green team on, Steve, working with Steve and Beth and the whole team have been really great on listening to feedback. Eric, our CTO, has been communicating with Steve on a daily basis from direct feedback that we're getting from customers about, hey, we'd like Lawnbot to be able to do this within the program. Now, we can't make every request come true, but when we hear the same thing over and over and over that this needs to be there, we've had situations, just for example, the units of square footage versus linear foot, things like that. Those were implemented almost same day. So the speed at which we're moving with this integration is it's never been seen before. Like, we're moving so fast with this integration, and I think it's really going to help a lot of companies optimize their sales process.
Kendall, one of the things, and you and I have talked 100 times in the last year, that just struck me, and I've seen this demo 50 times. One of the most important things you're doing with this process, and for some reason our frontline salespeople in this industry have a more difficult time with it than you do the way you just described it, is getting the credit card on file. So you are asking for that credit card on file. It's no longer pay as you go. You can either set it up as auto pay, prepay, or you could do the installments. But think about what this does to retention and collections, because you've already got that credit card on file.
Oh yeah, I mean, you already have it on file. Think of how easy it's going to be. When we ran when I was running Lawn Doctor sales, that's the first list we would call. We'd pull a report for all the people on auto pay, load it into the dialer, and we just hit it hard because we knew they already had a card on file. Hey, did you just want me to add that to? It's the same 52 like you've been paying, Mrs. Jones. Yeah, Kendall, let's add it. The bugs are going to be bad this year. Of course, they want to add it. They're protecting their family. So
you just took me for a walk down memory lane. I can remember when auto dialer was the coolest piece of technology we had in the sales room.
Yeah, it's crazy that some folks just getting into the industry didn't come. I was lucky to come in at a time where mentors in this space, Joe, Paul Wagner, the Noon brothers, right? They all did telemarketing. That's how they grew their businesses, to the size they did. And I got to see both sides of it, the new school and the old school. And I think there's a place for all of it in today's marketplace because, there's some Lawnbot customers that are like, okay, well, they didn't convert on the bot. I'm like, okay, well, pick up the phone, close the you got to be able to do both. You can't just rely on the bot. You got to have a killer analog process as well, because I think there's, especially in the economy where it's at today, with all the craziness that's going on, there's always going to be a place for people that can bring revenue to the table, whether it's a bot, a salesperson, a CSR who does a fantastic job at upselling people and recommend, when they call in to cancel and they can save that customer right on the phone. There's always going to be a spot on the team for that person because they're protecting revenue. And as we know, a business is built on sales and revenue. It's at the top line of the financial statement. So it's a necessity. And I think you got to have analog and the new school digital as a part of your current sales. And I think, I would imagine that's why we've partnered together as we all know that. Yeah.
But revisiting the human resource piece of this, I love this because I think, like you do, and the new consumer, for the most part, wants to automate this. But you're making a more sophisticated sales team. So the guys and gals that you have left on your sales team are the ones that are overcoming objections that the bot didn't sell, or they're doing commercial work, or maybe more sophisticated upsells. So you certainly don't replace your sales staff, but they become more sophisticated and they're doing different things. And 1.0 is, how do I sign up for your lawn care? And you would do it through automation.
Totally. Yeah. As an owner, especially as I was growing Lawn Doctor and hiring more overhead and salespeople, I was the one going on TV generating all these leads. I pay all this money for pay-per-click and Facebook ads, and like I'm generating all these leads, and my sales guys are over there fighting over the inbound leads because they live on commissions, as they should. And to me, a sale is made when somebody says no or I need to think about it. And I want my trained killers on the phone with people who are on the fence or weren't going to do business with us possibly this year. I don't want them wasting time on inbound leads who have already bought. They have their credit card in their hand and they're going to sign up today with somebody, especially the first person that they talk to. So I want my best sales guys, because there's some really good ones out there who, you're right, they'll never be replaced by a bot because they're that good. They know how to overcome objections. They know how to do the frequency and the activity. They make 150 phone calls a day. And if you say you need to think about it, they know exactly what to do at that moment, and what to say to get you to buy lawn care. But they should be calling your gave estimates from last year. They should be calling your cancels. They should be calling cold calling. They should not be taking inbound leads, especially if you're running a commission-based sales team. So.
Sure. So let's talk about COVID-19 again. I've been talking to industry experts for the last 3 weeks. And the additional upsides are you do have folks at home and they are outside. Outside is the safest place. And so we in the industry feel like there's going to be a heightened interest because there'll be more staycations, and you can bet when they're taking their 3-year-old outside, when Axel's a little older and you can bounce him in a swing, you're not going to want there to be mosquitoes out in that lawn. I know you're in Michigan, but what are your thoughts just on lawn productivity? You were telling me about an airport that you have to service. Do you feel like you get out soon?
It's a shame what's going on right now. I mean, the lawn care industry is one of the only industries that people are alone in their truck. It's the ultimate social distancing profession. And I think it's a shame that, our governor doesn't know the difference between a landscaper and a lawn care and pest control company. I think there's a lot of great people doing the legwork to make sure she knows the difference. But my dad was pissed. I mean, he's 75 years old, and he doesn't own the business anymore. But we were watching the news last night, and it was the funniest thing is I can't watch this anymore. He said, "Do you know it's almost May? It's time to put down that crabgrass prevent." Like, he was getting pissed, and I'm like, there's not much you can do. But from what I've heard, and I think we talked about this before we jumped on the call, is there's lots of great organizations that are going to bat on the green industry's behalf right now, whether it's the MGIA or the NALP. Lots of great people working really hard to make sure that we can keep people pest free. And by the way, pest means weeds as well. Think of thistles in your lawn growing up 6 feet. That's what we're going to be looking at here soon if the lawn care companies can't get out there and do what we do best.
You're right.
If you want an example of that, just look at a new home lot that sits there for months on end without any disturbance or care of it. You got weeds that are up to your neck and elbows, and what lives in that? Well, pests live in that: rats, snakes, insects. So I think it's going to be turned around really quick, and I'm definitely praying for my brother and my family as well, the people that are still running the day, and all of our customers as well. Geez, all of our lawn care companies out there that are doing a great job. I mean, these are typically smaller companies. Not everybody's a giant, but even the giant folks, I mean, it's really impacting a lot of people. And I think the quicker we can get that, lawn care included is essential. I think it's going to help a lot of people. I mean, just for example, the airport that we take care of, Gerald R. Ford International Airport, second biggest airport in the state of Michigan, and they need to get their crabgrass pre-emergent down. It's not in the scope. It's not in the scope for post-emergent on that project. And I know these are unprecedented times, but I think, like you had mentioned, from a mosquito standpoint, an insect control standpoint, those are essential services. And I think that that's, like you mentioned before we get on the call, there's, with all the hard work that's going on, that's going to be turned around really quickly. So,
Well, from
yeah.
chaos creates opportunities, and there's never been a better time to use technology to get the job done because we are all going to be on a very compressed time schedule and competing for the same customers. If you go to just about any major city and type in lawn care, you're usually going to look at True Green. They're always the market leader, and you're going to, when you look at their website, you're going to get their bot. And then when you look at the
Right.
next one, so they always raise the bar, to your point. They raise the bar for all of us, and they've been using bots for a couple of seasons, and they're going to get a price. And so in order to stay relevant, we're all going to have to do that. Kendall, I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your partnership. I know our Real Green customers that we service mutually can't say enough good things about the work you guys are doing, and it's critical timing for a solution like yours. And how do we
Yeah.
reach you if we're interested in learning more about Lawnbot?
Yeah, just hit us on the website, lawnbot.biz, B-I-Z, lawnbot.biz. You can see here right at the top. You just enter your company name, email, phone number, hit take me to live demo, and you'll be taken to the live demo, and you can see the functionality of it. Right now, we're on about a 2-week turnaround from like giving us the green light, saying, yes, I want to do it, to getting you a clickable demo. Obviously, time is of the essence, and we're scaling up our build-out team pretty quickly right now. Because of the demand and the unprecedented time of, folks, I've got multiple companies coming to me saying, hey, we're laying off our CSRs or we're laying off salespeople, but I still want to grow my business. And I said, you definitely should. Right now is not the time when you want to retract activity. Right now is the time when you want to go out and dominate in the marketplace because so many people are retracting. Think of all the people that are just sitting at home right now waiting for a phone call or waiting to see your Facebook ad. It's the time to get into the marketplace, and especially if your state is shut down, you can't work, you better be on that phone making phone calls,
Yeah,
calling.
generating.
Corona special, whatever it is. Like right
Yeah,
now, people are on their phones, they're scrolling through Facebook, and we're seeing the best ROI on Facebook ads right now. We're generating leads for $5, $5 to $10 on Facebook ads because people are home. They're sitting on Facebook. They're whatever looking for news or talking about the Tiger King or whatever it is.
yeah.
And they like, oh, honey, we need to do the lawn this year. And I think everybody's pretty optimistic that we're going to return to some normalcy here, hopefully pretty soon. And there's plenty of prepays coming. As we've been on the phone during this demo, there's been 3 sales that have come in. So I think that there's like many say, there's a lot of pent up demand right now, and just get ready for April and May. It's going to be a crazy couple of months on the phones and on the bots as well. So
I've been in this industry 30 years, and even in tough times, consumers tend to want to care for their lawn and protect their real estate. So I'm very bullish on our sustainability as well. Kendall, thank you so much. And again, that's lawnbot.biz for more information. And love having you integrated with Real Green. We'll talk to you soon.
yeah, thanks for having me.
All righty. Bye-bye.